love it, baby. They love it, baby. They love it, baby. Welcome back to Louisiana Gardening Family, or family gardening, whatever you like. Today we want to talk about why we do this, what I'm doing here. First I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing, and then we'll just go ahead on with our garden chat for this week. Okay, so here we go, let's get started with it. Today all we doing, I think we talked with y'all about trying to be able to use the beds that we were trying to prepare, but it keeps raining and raining, so the rain is kind of putting a damp on our plans, or kind of pushing us back, but it's still okay. So today what I'm doing out here, I've already done it to the back bed. If you can see, it was piled up like this, and all I'm doing is taking the dirt from off the top pile and throwing it down because it's kind of breeding mosquitoes. We just throwing it down into the water or the ditch that we made by healing all of this up, and hopefully the water will evaporate a little bit faster because the mud and the dirt will kind of suck it up faster. All right, while we're doing that, let's talk on today's chat. People have also been asking us questions, but I haven't been answering many questions in the garden chats because we kind of answer everything online. If I'm not answering your questions, then Beverly's answering the questions. I was looking at some of our trees that were kind of starting to sprout, kind of starting to bloom, and what we've seen is some of them are kind of dictating time, and it brought back to my memory this old Louisiana tale that's kind of more important to some people than the groundhog, and it's the pecan tree. So the dialogue I want to start today is, tell me in the chats some of the ways that you tell, or that you can tell in your time zone or wherever you live, some of the old wives' tales or old fables on how you tell when the time is, and I'm talking about how can you tell when spring is here. In Louisiana, it's the pecan tree. On TV, they're looking at the groundhog. Some people say Good Friday. Some people say Easter. So let me know in the comments below, how do you tell when spring is here? I've been finding that the pecan tree has actually been a good tell, because they say once the pecan tree sprouts, when the pecan tree starts to get its leaves, then you are no longer at a danger of frost. Whether or not that's true or not, I found that it looks like it's kind of accurate. As far as I looked at it last year, and I got it from a guy that I actually garden with a little bit, farm with a little bit, and he's kind of was the one that brought it to my attention, because I always said, you know, it was always April 1st, then it was always after Good Friday. That's the way most people do it. But he said last year, he showed me he had a pecan tree in his yard, and he was like, man, I'm not planting anything until that pecan tree right there buds. And he had one heck of a year gardening in his yard, and he waited and waited, and when they had buds on that pecan tree, he planted. And I don't think he lost anything to a cold or to a frost. So it may be something for you all to look into if you have pecan trees in your area, if they grow in your area. If not, then maybe you may have to go off of Good Friday, which is right around the corner. So either way it goes, I'm trying to get ahead of the weather We supposed to be here in Louisiana. Like I told you, it's been raining so much, so crazy. Right now we're in this dry spell. I think it's gonna be like a week. So I believe that if I get this dirt on here today before the sun goes down, that I'll actually be able to let this dry out for maybe 3 days, 4 days, and then either I'll till it with the small tiller, or my neighbor has a tractor and he's offered to come and run over it once or twice with his tiller. So that's gonna save me a lot of time and a lot of you know how, if you ever worked a tiller, you know how that you'll till yourself to death, you'll shake yourself to death with a tiller. So if he comes with that, I'm gonna thank him, and I'm gonna thank God that I don't have to get out here. And like I said, for those people that's following my channel, even though I'm trying to go the permaculture way, this is starting. I talked to y'all about that back to Eden thing. When Adam got in Eden, Eden was already there, right? So somebody had to prepare Eden for Adam. So don't think that just because you throw some wood chips down, you've already arrived to a back to Eden garden. It doesn't work like that. It has to be prepared, all right? So now I'm trying to prepare it with this one till, hopefully. Then after that, I'll come with the wood chips, and then we'll start to layer those wood chips over and over and over again. So I'm really interested in how you guys decide how it's time to plant in the ground, how it's time to stop covering. I mean, what did your grandmother tell you? What did your grandfather tell you? Like, what are some of those old sayings that are tried and true, that you know without a doubt that you would actually tell your friends, or when you're giving advice to co-workers or beginner gardeners? What are some of those tried and true tales that you would put your name on, as far as, without a doubt, not 100%, but at least 80-85% of the time is gonna be spot on? Hopefully this is gonna dry out perfectly. I've added in that dirt, and that dirt is gonna dry that, and it's gonna sponge and soak that up. It's so wet that I'm hoping that the wind, by the wind being so windy this last few days, that it'll aid and we can get some 85 degree weather that may help us out. I'm starting to see some sprouts from my graft joints, or graft buds, that I was telling you. Some of those, what you call the rootstock. And that's the last question that I have for today is, can you take a rootstock that's alive, and even if the tree is dead, can you plant on that rootstock? You know, can you graft onto that rootstock if that rootstock is still alive? Because I have some rootstocks that are giving me some buds, but I have the trees I think are not gonna make it themselves. But I'm still holding out for hope. I'm gonna wait a few more, maybe another month or so, and see. Maybe it's gonna take a little bit more longer for them to wake up. But I promise you that I'm not gonna not protect these when this next winter comes around. My rooster's hounding my hens. This one always comes when one jumps on when one jumps on a hen, the other one always comes to fight him off so he can jump on. But they've been good to me. I think we're up to like 15 or Today we got 16 eggs. So I'm blessed in that area. So right now we're gonna move our cage. Remember I was telling y'all that I kind of try to move it once a day or so. So we're gonna try to move that. They're eating my blueberries now. So we're gonna try to move that maybe another 10 feet or whatever, and give them some new grass to kind of walk around in tomorrow. So that's it for today's garden chat. I hope it wasn't too long. I tried to keep it short. My idea today was like to do a 3-minute garden chat. Hopefully I can condense it down a little bit more, do some speed up type things in it. But I really wanted y'all to get this, what we were doing today. Actually, Bev got on the zero turn, my neighbor's zero turn, and actually cut the grass today. So I've been trying to do some other things around the yard, picking up stuff, getting stuff cleaned up, trying to get it spring ready, right? Trying to get it looking like it's spring. So thank y'all for joining in. I'm telling y'all from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of our heart, that we really appreciate the time that y'all join in with us. And we're gone. God bless you. Don't forget, when you're traveling, stop by Louisiana. Peace.